Okay, I think two things, a couple of things could be responsible. One is access. I mean, the technology already became perfect in the last decade or so, or at most 20 years. So it wasn't that available before. Now it's available and the price is actually coming down. So accessibility is one. Then number two, people are becoming a bit more enlightened. I mean, there is internet, there is social media. So people now know. I mean, what you don't know, you cannot, if you don't know that it's possible to do a DNA test, you will not go for it. So awareness is increasing. It's becoming more affordable and accessible. But to answer the question of, is it that the prevalence of, misattributed paternity is higher now? I might probably not be able to answer that question because we probably don't have data. What do I mean? In those days, as I said, they didn't have a way of checking. Now we have a way of checking, which means that, in fact, there was a discussion, a forum where I was, and some people were saying, you know what, that it's even possible that the rate of paternity misattribution could be higher in those days because that person was making mention of, people in cocoa, they will just go and, make themselves under the tree and all of that, but there was no way to know. And I kind of think that is the case. So it's difficult to say that it's higher now than then. But notwithstanding, what the data is showing in our center is that in the last 3 years, we've seen a trend, and I think data has remained generally consistent and stable. So in 2023, the data that we pull out, showed that 26% of paternity DNA testing came negative. Now, the data went up to 27% for our 2024 data. Now, 2025 data is actually 25%, which means that it actually trended down by 2%. But if you do the average, we're actually coming to around, 26% negative rate, which is still essentially the same over the last 3 years.
All right. Mr. Popola, so we will be walking through the slides. So you just be our interpreter. So we exhaust and make the most. Let's talk about this type of tests. You talked about, from your record, that there are 3 major reasons why people come for testing: legal, immigration, and peace of mind. And that peace of mind is 83.7%. Please help us make sense of that.
Okay, thank you. So peace of mind test means a test that has not been demanded by a government body, which means that I just have a question of paternity, there's a dispute, then I want to know, right? So that is called personal, DNA testing. And that constitutes the bulk of the test that, we did. The second, in terms of, a distant second actually, is immigration DNA testing, which means that for people that are dual citizen, right, maybe they have a child in Nigeria, now they want to, file that, this is my child, I want to file citizenship for the child. Usually, in some cases, the government of those countries, could be UK, could be any country in the European Union, could be Canada, could be US, could be Australia, they might demand for DNA evidence to show that really this person is a biological child of, the person that is claiming that they are the father of this child. And then the third is the legal. The legal is where there is a dispute, right? And they've gone to court, and the court has said, okay, the only way to actually establish paternity of a child is to do a paternity DNA test. That's the most conclusive way. And then the court will mandate that, the parties go to, a DNA center to go and do DNA testing. So those are the top 3, types of tests that we do. Of course, there is a prenatal one, which means that some people do not even want to wait for the baby to be born. They just want to do it while the woman is still, pregnant. So that is the non-invasive prenatal testing.
Okay, let's go to the next one, which is of interest, and I want to find out from you specifically. So you did top 10 states that go seek for DNA confirmation. Lagos leads above every other person. In fact, Lagos, from your chart, shows 69%, and the 35 other states and the FCT, my guess is 31% from this data. Is it because of access to the technology, or Lagos is just unsure?
I think it should be a combination of factors. Access is one, economic power is two, and I think cultural factor is another. So access are based. Most of our primary centers are in Lagos, Highland, Mainland. Of course, we have locations across Nigeria, but Lagos is our primary base. That's number one. Then number two is why the price of DNA testing is coming down. The reality is that for a lot of people, it's still high, right? So which means that cost is a factor. And because Lagos kind of have more economic power, that could be a factor as well. And then another thing is cultural, right? Lagos people are generally more cosmopolitan. They are more exposed to, modern way of doing things and all of that, generally speaking. So which means that they will be more likely to, do DNA testing. So it's a combination of cultural, it's a combination of cost and location. And then why that cultural is very important is that we've had instances, for instance, in particular states in the southeast, say Anambra, where when there is dispute, and what you hear is that it doesn't matter, whoever has paid the dowry of a woman is assumed that the man is the owner of all the children, even if they bring pregnancy to the marriage. So cultural things actually play an important role as well.